This is lesson 8.2, calculating and journalizing depreciation expense. This is found on page 229 of your book. There are lots of different ways that we can calculate depreciation expense, and we are going to talk about a few of those now. We're going to talk about straight line depreciation in this section here. Straight line depreciation is when we decide that every year we are going to have the same annual depreciation. So as you can see here, every year of useful life that we believe that this computer has 5 years, we think it will depreciate $365 per year, the same every year. So the original cost of the computer was $2,000. Our estimated salvage value is $175, so we think we paid $2,000 for the computer, but when we try and sell it in 5 years, we'll get $175 for it. So our total estimated depreciation expense is $1,825. We need to divide that by our years of estimated useful life, which would be 5 years, and we will get an annual depreciation expense of $365. And again, that will be the same for each year. It doesn't change depending on the year. Okay, so in year 3 we have our beginning book value of $1,270 even, minus our annual depreciation of $365 to get $905. So when you do this, you see that year 1 is $2,000 minus our $365 gives us $1,635. Our ending book value in year 1 will be our beginning book value in year 2. Minus our depreciation gives us our ending. Our ending in year 2 is our beginning in year 3. Okay? When you get down to the bottom, your 540 minus your 365, this should give you your estimated salvage value, this 175 estimated salvage value. Recording depreciation on plant asset records. The first thing we need to do is calculate our annual depreciation expense, and when we did that, we found out that our annual depreciation expense is $120. So that's what it will be annually. However, we found out that this first year didn't have an entire year of depreciation. It only had $50 worth of depreciation. That's why this is 50, and that's why the rest of that 120 will be depreciated in your last year, because depending on when your date that you bought it, it has only been so many months to the amount of time that it has been depreciated. Okay, so you'll take your 120. Your accumulated depreciation has been $50 so far, so your 50 plus your 120 is 170. If you take your 650, your ending book value, minus your annual depreciation expense of 120, you'll get 530. Okay, you'll continue to do that throughout your depreciation of your plan asset record. If this is not making sense to you, I would go back and read page 231. It is a little confusing if you haven't done your reading. What you need to remember for this is the original cost of a plant asset minus the accumulated depreciation is your book value. If you look at page, let me find it here, 232, it will talk about the calendar month is the smallest unit of time used to calculate depreciation. So a plant asset may be placed in service at a date other than the first day of the fiscal period. Here it was August 8th. Okay. To calculate depreciation expense for part of a year, the annual depreciation expense is divided by 12. So we'll take that 120, divide by 12, and we know that it's $10 a month. So August, September, October, November, December, those are 5 months that it will be that we need to depreciate that first year, and that's how we get that $50. So you take the month that started, count to the end of the year. August is 1, September is 2, October, November, December 5, and then you know this last year that you just need to get to August. So you will have January, February, March, April, May, June, and July, 7 months times the $10 a month that we figured out for a monthly depreciation will give you $70 on that annual depreciation here. Journalizing annual depreciation expense, you will go ahead and take your depreciation expense for your office equipment and debit that, and you will credit your accumulated depreciation for your office equipment. this is your expense. This is always debited. I would get this written down in your notes so you make sure you know how to do this. You will do this a lot of different times for different things that depreciate, so I would make sure you know how to journalize this correctly. Here is that part of a year that we just talked about. If you had an annual depreciation expense of 120, you would divide that by 12 months of the year to figure out you had a depreciation monthly expense of 10. You'll figure out how many months it's used in that year, and that would be your partial year depreciation expense.